Anyway, let's take a look now at some of the people gathering around and saying, you know, I think the president might be right. Who agrees with building the mosque at Ground Zero? I love this guy. He's just the senior leader of Hamas. Here's what he said.
We have to build the mosque as you are allowed to build church, and the Israelis are building their holy places. We have to build everywhere. If in every area we have Muslims, we have to pray, and this mosque is the only site of prayer.
That's the only place. That's the only place they can do it. By the way, have you ever been to Israel? Because I have. It's really interesting how one group of people seem to be erasing all of the other religions. Maybe it was just me. Nothing says building bridges to me like the leader of Hamas. Am I right or am I right? So that's great. You have Hamas and the president in lockstep. I think that's great. And I can't really get past the fact that the president was lecturing us on the Constitution and religious freedom. In case you missed it, grab some popcorn because it's really good. Go ahead. Watch.
Let me be clear.
Yeah.
As a citizen and as president, I believe that Muslims have the right to practice their religion as everyone else in this country.
Yeah.
That includes the right to build a place of worship in a community center on private property in Lower Manhattan in accordance with local laws and ordinances. This is America, and our commitment to religious freedom must be unshakable.
That's it? You're not going to play the ending? Man, I hate that. Well, I bet it has a scary ending, but I'm not sure. He's a stickler for that Constitution thingy, isn't he? Let me tell you. I remember when he was trying to get health care passed. Remember what he said about the Constitution?
I don't spend a lot of time worrying about what the procedural rules are in the House or the Senate.
Procedures. What's the difference? Who cares about procedures when you're talking about the Constitution? Blah, 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 blah. He had bigger fish to fry, like passing something that a lot of people think is unconstitutional. This president and his administration seem to be slightly out of step with the average American. You know, those people who are just bitterly clinging to their God and their guns. If they really cared so much about religious freedoms, then why, may I ask you, I'm going to puzzle for a minute. I'm going to puzzle and puzzle until my puzzler is sore on this one. Why did the Obama administration, a mere 5 weeks into his presidency, officially state their intention to rescind a Bush-era regulation called the Freedom of Conscience Act? That. Well, what does that mean? It means if something bothers you, you better do it. Unless this was in. See, the act cut off all federal funds to hospitals or clinics or health care plans that didn't accommodate doctors and other health care providers who refused to participate in care that they felt violated their personal, moral, or religious beliefs. Here's what our administration said. Well, we've been concerned that the way the Bush rule was written, it could make it harder for women to get the care that they need. May I? Because I'm an alcoholic. I'm a recovering alcoholic, so I speak fluent bullcrap. I can translate bullcrap to English. It's not that hard. Once you've done a lot of alcohol in your life, man, that bullcrap runs right out of your mouth. So here it is. BS to English. The care that they need equals abortions. Okay? Then he says, it's worded so vaguely that some have argued that it could limit family planning counseling, abortion, and even potentially blood transfusions and end-of-life care. End-of-life care. Let me translate bullcrap to English. End-of-life care. Night-night, Grammy. Pulling the old plug. But more on that later. Now, as the freedom of conscience is still standing now, I wonder why he wanted to yank that out. But when I heard that he wanted to do that, I thought, gee, is that in step with America? That you can't be? I mean, this is a land based on religious freedom. At the same time, our president is lecturing us. He would like to force doctors who believe that abortion is the equivalent the equivalence of murder. You've got to commit murder or you can't work here anymore. Now, I'm just a simpleton clinging to my imaginary friend in the sky, so maybe somebody's going to have to explain the rationale here. But it's totally cool to go forward with a mosque run by a potentially radical nut job, and it's not. Doctors can't refuse to do procedures that they believe is murder.